Okay, good evening, Ekram. I just wanted to record this video real quickly, um, and I figured I'd record in English too, just in case, if you want to share it with the guys, and just to give a little bit of background information on um, what the PowerPlay is and should be like, and what the system should be. So I figured I'd speak in English so that even the gentleman that maybe doesn't know Turkish, they can understand as well too. Um, so the power play. So what we got here is with the red team, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. This is our neutral setup, and 90% of the time, 99% of the time, you're going to play against a team that set up in a box shape of penalty kill, and so this is how we're going to line up. I use this background image. The third line for this is for the major arena soccer league. Their third line is a little bit closer than ours, but I think it gives a pretty good understanding of what the boards does and translates well into our 5-on-5 indoor system. So, okay, so, and we'll talk about which player should be in what position after that as well too. So the idea here is that your quarterback, the guy that's organizing everything, right? The main concern or main strength for this guy is the ability to be able to move the ball sideways on one touch across these board players. Okay, so you need somebody on here that is able to really well take this pass incoming and with one touch be able to nice and flat on the ground be able to switch to this board. Okay, vice versa, be able to go right and left. So the guy who's playing this position's primary strength needs to be passing, accurate, calm passing, right? He's also going to need to look down the middle for this pass every once in a while, but more often than not, good teams will squeeze this pass out of you, and you'll be forced to move to the boards up and down, okay? The guys on the boards, number 2 and number 3, these are your strong shooters, the guys that can really hit the ball calm, cool, and they can one time it across their body or whatever it needs to be. Um, these guys should be lining up a little bit high up the boards, just like in this angle, so that when this pass comes in, right? Let's say the pressure is coming in. When this pass comes in a little bit ahead of them, and they're able to step in and take this shot into the net however they see fit, okay? So that's an important position for them. When I say they need to be wide, I mean they're touching the wall, like their one hand is touching the wall. You don't want to be too ahead of the play in this angle like this. Sometimes guys kind of wants to get deeper into this position behind his defenders. The problem with this is that all it needs for this defender to take a couple of steps, nothing too much, and they close this line, okay? So don't fall into the trap of going too deep on the boards with these guys. They need to play actually quite high, right? So that they have this nice passing angle that they're able to take, okay? So the strong shooters on the outside, you could have the right-footed guy on the right boards if you want. They would be shooting from right side of their body, or you could have the left-footed guy playing on the right side boards, and they can be taking the shot from the inside of their body. Totally up to you, depending on your roster, right? So now what happens? This guy in the middle, okay, number 5 that we're playing, ideally you're kind of playing around the penalty spot on top of the box, but really it depends on what the shape of this box that defenders are playing in, okay? If this guy all decides to go up for whatever reason, this guy needs to play in the center of this box, okay? If they all drop in back into their box, right? This guy needs to play in the middle of it, okay? So naturally, neutrally, most teams will line up a little bit higher up, right? They'll have 2 guys deep to cover this back two. They'll have 2 guys up to pressure this pass and to pressure this lane. But this guy, at all times, okay, he wants to be in the middle of this box, okay? Okay, I was going to draw some lines, but that's okay. So you're going to ask, what about this guy in the middle, right? Like the one in the down low. He's down low. He lines up in front of the goalie as you're neutral with the ball, okay? When this ball gets passed to the right side, right? This guy kind of slides a little bit. This guy kind of slides a little bit. This guy comes out and shows up at this bottom doors, okay? This is his role. When this ball goes to the right, he goes to the right. If this ball pass comes back, he comes back to the neutral. If this goal switches back this side, he pops down on this side, okay? Number 4 is a really crucial position. This guy down here needs to be very fast, right? Because you're going to be doing a lot of suicides back and forth between these times, right? And this will get tiring, right? Depending on how well this ball is moving up and down. This guy needs to be able to follow the ball. So it's a high pace, high movement position, right? If it comes back, he goes here. If it comes back, he goes here. Our number 1 goal, if we can make it, is we want to get this ball to this guy, number 4, nice and deep. Once we're in this position, right, this is a really good position to be. Now this defender is facing the ball, facing their own net. This defender is probably, they're all kind of tucking into it, but they're all facing their own net, which is tough to play. This guy needs to, again, float in the middle of it, just in case this pass comes through, because more often than not, when that ball gets deep, this defender is going to drop in here to kind of stop this pass across. This is your spot to kind of show up for this 1 touch, right? While this is happening, just to kind of neutralize a little bit to come back as well too. Number 2 on the far side needs to be ready. Once the ball goes deep and this guy drops a block this guy drops a block this guy's going here, this guy sneaking either to the back post, ideally here, but might not be able to have as much time, right? Somewhere in the tucking in here. Number 5 is dropping here. Number 1 is coming in here, the quarterback, be able to kind of take this pass and take this shot, give him a couple options. This guy stays nice and wide in here, just in case if, let's say, number 4 pass came in, number 4 took a bad touch, pressure came in double, he needs to be able to go back out. They'll come back out, this comes back out. We're swinging the ball, right? These guys were like this. We're swinging the ball, they go back into their box, we come back into our box. If it comes in here, same idea, pops into the middle, ball comes and pass comes in, drops, tightens, comes into the backside, comes into the middle, comes to the top of the box, is ready to be able to go back again. Okay? So the idea is to be able to get the ball down low into number 4. Once he gets it, either the pass is going to come across the box for the backdoor tap-in, or the pass is going to come across the penalty box for the tap-in from the top. Okay? Those are the ideal positions. At any given time, we want to be able to occupy, if possible, let's see if I can do a shape here. We want to be able to occupy this area, and we want to be able to occupy this area. Okay? Penalty shot scoring area, and backdoor scoring area. These are the areas that we want to have somebody in at all times, depending on where the position of the ball is, and we want to occupy those positions as much as we want, right? Or I guess if it comes back to this side, right, and this guy shows up in here, see if I can move this. I can't move it, whatever. I'll get out of the way, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. We want to be able to kind of adjust this number as much as we can. Those would be the areas that we want to hit as best as we can. Oh, just go back. No, okay. I don't know how we're going to do that, but okay, I'll deal with that later, another time. But again, so we want to, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 guys, balls in the middle, other teams playing box, 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 box. Their goalie's there, right? This is the position that we want to set up neutrally. So like we said, the guy up top here, ability to be able to move the ball really quickly, also ability to be able to recover, because if we take a shot, we miss, comes back off the boards, these guys are attacking. First guys that's going to need to come back is number 1 to be able to defend that, right? Usually, I mean, depends, different teams plays, but if you have a good, quick defender that is able to hit the passes and be able to potentially hit a shot right down the middle if it needs to, that's going to be your guy in here. Big shooters on the outside, right? They're able to step in and hit the ball. Fast, quick guy that is able to pop into the pocket and one touch be able to pass it here. Your number 5 striker here is going to be your strong, physical, able to wrestle, able to poach, able to get a one touch in and everything like that, because once this position, like we said, comes down to the middle here, we'll be able to get the ball passed down low. This is going to collapse. So in this box, it's going to get very physical. So this guy's got to be able to be ready to hold a guy off with the arm on his back. And when this pass comes in, he's able to one touch it and go. So strong goal scorer and physically strong instinct, right? So the main strategy, again, we want to be able to go side to side and come down to middle. However, let's say we're playing against a team, right? And the scenario too is that they are cheating to the outside because they know that they want to give this, they don't want to give this pass to you. And this guy shows up, is able to be able to get that pass middle. We get a nice quick pass in the middle. And from here, he's either laying it one time to the right for a shot, or he's laying it one time to the left for another shot. This is with the assumption that these guys will be able to come in and close in here, right? But if they don't, for whatever reason, right, they're lazy, he can take a touch, turn, and he can shoot from there as well too, right? So that's kind of what the idea on the power play is. Yeah, you might play against some teams that goes into a diamond shape when they're defending, which, funny enough, that against a single quarterback system that you want to play power play, diamond shape does make it hard because you get direct pressure on the ball, you get direct pressure on the outsides, right? Even if we get the ball out here, this guy will step in, right? If that's the case, all we need to do is you play with 2 quarterbacks. This guy comes up here. This number 4 can come out wide. So you're going to have one guy down low. You're going to have 2 quarterbacks against a diamond system, right? And the idea now is this guy can't cover both, right? So if he comes here, takes his pass away, you go 1, 2, which then you're going to have a number 4 coming in for a pass to cut in, or vice versa with the number 2 and 4. They can now play deeper into the boards to be able to get these layups and passes. So if the other team plays diamond, you're going to play with 2 quarterbacks, 2 setups like this. Your number 5 guy is going to fill into this spot. Don't hide behind. He's going to come into here. You're going to still have 2 on the boards. If they play a box, which, again, 99% of the time you play the game, they're going to kill with a box. You're going to have 1 quarterback, 2 guys on the boards, 1 guy down low, 1 guy in the middle. Okay? So yeah, that's pretty much the power play. Let me know if you have any questions or if I can explain something a little bit better. But